morning and happy Plansational Sunday. This is our second Plansational Sunday of the year, and we are really diving in today on talking about this hustle season and getting rid of that hustle season and going into a system based season. So, in our series this month, we're talking about order before overflow. Just know that if you don't have some type of order in your business, in your life, in your everyday workflow, then you can never get to that overflow in your life. And so your systems don't have to be perfect, but we have to get them in order so that you'll have room for all the business and all the things that are going to come into your life. And a lot of times we're asking for more, we want more, but there is no room for more. Why? Because we're constantly in this hustle and bustle, running around, just making it in time by the skin of our teeth. It's just too much going on. And today, I want you to take a deep breath. And I want you to pause and ask yourself, how can you transition out of the hustle and get more into creating systems that will give you room for overflow? So, we're going to be replacing that hustle habit that we have with systems that support our life. And I can honestly tell you, sometimes we wake up and we hop right out of the bed and dash right into something. We never have time to think, we never have time to breathe. We're constantly like in this traffic where we're trying to, swerve in and out of lanes. And I can tell you, there is a season that you can go into where it is just like hustle and hustle and hustle and hustle. A lot of things are being thrown at you. And I'm asking you guys, if you're in that season and you feel overwhelmed, you feel like there's a lot going on, I am going to ask you to really pause and transition and really find out what is keeping you in that hustle instead of going into a place where things are getting better and things are going to get easier. So, if you don't know the difference between what hustle and systems look like, I've kind of made some notes to kind of reflect on. And I want you guys to clearly think about, are you in a hustle or are you in the flow of systems in your business? If you are new to Plansational Sunday, I am Dr. Carolyn Bobb-Green, and I am super excited about having you in our Passionpreneur community. Every Sunday at 5 a.m., you will see me live talking about things that will help you set up your week for success. So whether it's tips, whether it is conversational, whether it's really pushing you into that next level, that is what I am here for. So if you're watching this on replay, hashtag replay. And if you are live with me, talk to me. Talk to me. Let me know that you are here live. So drop it in the comments, hashtag live or hashtag replay. So let me talk about hustle versus systems. So if you're doing everything manually meaning, handwritten, you're doing things like typing out things and you don't have checklists, if you feel like that you are doing the same task over and over and over and over and over, that's a hustle. Starting from scratch every single time, like every time you do something, you have to start from a blank slate. You don't have templates in place. You don't have files where you can just click it and pull. You're like, man, I know I created that, but you know what? I gotta start over all again because I can't find it. You're making decisions in the moment. I get so many offers and so many people that try to rush me into making decisions, putting dates on my calendar, all of the above. But I don't make decisions right away. Just because a person needs it from you doesn't mean that you have to give it. And I feel like when I just throw things out there or just give people what they want, it leaves me in the hustle and bustle of trying to figure things out. So sometimes you just have to slow down and say, hey, I'm going to get back with you. Let me take a look at my calendar. Let me review this. Because if not, you will constantly stay in a hustle where people are controlling you like a puppet, holding your strings, when really you should be holding the strings to your own life. Living in your inbox or DMs, you're just constantly answering messages, constantly answering emails, instead of picking a time in a day where you can do that. A lot of times, if it is not in DM time of the day, I'm not going to be in my DMs. If it's not in my inbox time of the day, I'm not going to be constantly answering emails. I have some structure and order to my day. I don't let people pull me like the wind. And we have to understand how important that is. I know a lot of you are thinking like, but if I don't reply right away, what if I miss an opportunity? Just like any large company, they have business hours. They have a 24-hour window of returning a phone call or a message, or they'll get back to you at their earliest convenience, or they'll get back to you when they have an answer. And so we have to stop allowing things to control our life, to control our business, and all of the above, right? So whenever you're in a hustle, you never feel like you're productive. You are feeling like, oh my God, it seems like this is never going to get done. You're just busy, busy with no results. You have no consistency. It's just a whole bunch of effort. And that is the reason why we get burnt out in our business. We're putting so much energy forward instead of planning things out, getting things in order. Hustle is very loud. It is very loud in our ear. It is very unsettling. It's very busy. I feel like you're just running when really you need to just stop. Hustle convinces you that rest is earned, and it's not. Rest is required. But when you're in that hustle season, you think that I can't take a nap. I can't sit down for a minute. I can't take a vacation. I can't take a break. I cannot step away because I am going to miss something. Well, guess what? If you step away and you miss a whole lot, that means that you don't have systems in place. That means that you don't have that follow-up in place. So I want us to try to exit out of that hustle bustle season. I was telling someone that I had time. I had woken up pretty early to get ready for something, and I got in the shower and I was just like rushing. I got out and I saw myself in the mirror, and it was not good. And I had to look at myself and say, what are you doing? Why are you in such a rush? Where are you going? And it's because we're so stuck in the hustle. So stuck in the hustle. That's how car accidents happen. That's how I have fallen a couple of times. Yeah, yes, fallen a couple of times. That's how I've left things at home, not packed what I need because I have that hustle instead of systems. I know that I travel all the time. So I created a travel checklist so that I don't leave anything behind. I got tired of leaving my makeup bag or leaving deodorant and having to go buy deodorant, leaving my toothbrush and having to go buy what I left at home. Hustle will make you spend more money. Hustle will keep you in debt. Hustle will keep you from getting new clients because we are constantly just running and missing out on what's meaningful. Missing people because we're running by. Slow down. Stop being so busy and be purposeful. Now, if you have systems or when you get systems in place, let me give a little hope for you of what it will look like. It will look like repeatable processes. Like I told you, I created a checklist because I travel so that I don't leave anything behind. I've even created bags. Like I created my always on the go bag when I'm working because I'll stop and work at cafes. I'll stop and work at Starbucks. I'll stop and work at Barnes and Nobles. So I have a on the go bag with everything that I need. What happens every time I go out to work? I need pen and paper to take notes on. I'm creating systems, so I might need to write things down so that I can remember as I'm doing it, so that I can put it into an SOP. I might need my backup batteries because if I'm out all day, my phone, my computer, it may go dead. There may not be a good plug at the coffee shop and I may want to be there for a couple of hours. So I have my always bag and I think about the challenges that I face when I'm out and about, and I made sure that I had the solution right there so it doesn't stop the flow. That is creating repeatable processes. I know as a content creator and a business strategist, when I'm on the go, Sometimes I have to film in the restroom. Sometimes I have to film as I'm walking down the street. So I need to have my tripods. I need to have my lighting and everything that I need to be able to capture content. So I've created a content bag that I can keep in my trunk and be ready to go. I know I like to plan on the go, so I try to keep my main planners with me. I definitely keep my journal with me, my note taking. So I created different bags for that, just because I know that is what I need when I want to go. I hate being out and going, dang, I left that at home. Oh my God, I need Kleenex for my bag because this happened. I'll put a reminder in my phone so that I know that the next time I'm at the dollar store, the next time that I'm here, I need to grab Kleenex to go in my bag at all times because this happens. So you need to create repeatable processes. Clear steps to common tasks. Just clear steps. How do I do this? Every single time, just in case I forget. And we will forget as the days go on. Sometimes you may do something every other day or once a week. And so what will happen is we'll forget how to do it and we have to go back and look it up or go back and watch a YouTube video when we really should write down some of the common tasks and reminders. One of the things is I'm always on my camera, always going live, but my lighting changes. I don't have as much natural light at 5 a.m. as I have at 10 o'clock in the morning or 11 o'clock in the morning. So I have to remember what my camera settings are in order for me to get a crisp video. So I'll keep my Plansational Sunday or my early morning filming or my late night filming settings written down, or I'll program it to my camera so that I can remember exactly how much aperture I need or how much lighting I need or what different things mean or how to find different things on my camera because I'm not doing that every single day. So create clear steps for common tasks. And if you are watching this Plansational Sunday and you are like, okay, okay, let me get this down, pause it. Go and get your notebook and write this down because we want to get into having systems and understanding what that looks like. When you make systems, there are fewer decisions each day. I don't have to decide what am I going to take with me inside of Starbucks. I don't have to make that decision because you know what? I have my regular bag that I'm working in and I have my content bag in the car. So if I need anything, I can just pull it out of my content bag, put it in my main bag and bring it in. So we will make fewer decisions because sometimes decisions can stall us. It can pause us. It can have us feeling a type of way. I am telling you. It can have you feeling the way. And especially if you have to make decisions right then. So, what systems look like is fewer decisions, consistent results. If you have a content system, a lot of us are waking up, what should I post today? What should I put on social media? And then we don't do anything. We don't do anything. Why? Because we have to make decisions or we're not consistent. So you will get the results that you actually need if you put systems in place. And when we talk about content systems, I have a whole month that I'm going to be going over the details with that. But are you scheduling posts? Do you have a content planner where you sit down and say, hey, I'm going to drive this type of content this week? This is what I'm going to be posting on my business page. This is what I'm going to be posting in my groups. This is what I'm going to be posting on my main page. This is what I'm going to be doing on TikTok. This is what I'm going to be doing on Instagram. This is what I'm going to be doing on YouTube. Do you have a consistent, I'm talking about consistent schedule? Because consistency gets results. It's less emotional energy spent when you have systems. Sometimes when we're in a hustle, we get in our feelings and we make decisions based on our feelings instead of making decisions based on the systems that we've put in place. Will this work for you or not based on the structure? It will make a clearer no, that doesn't work for me in this season. That is not what the goal is for this season. That's not what I planned for this season. So understand that having systems is less emotional. Many of us are emotionally drained, just straight tired. And it is because of the lack of systems. It creates more white space for us, not loud noise. And when you have that white space, you have room to pull in other opportunities. But where there is no space, That is where overwhelmingness lives. That is where depression lives. That is where exhaustion lives. So, systems are a little bit more quiet. Systems are intentional. Systems work even when you don't. Stop thinking that you have to work all the time. Let your systems work for you. I know the hardest working person that makes hardly anything. Oh, she's a hard worker, but does she have systems in place? Hustle will ask you every day, what do I need to do today? But if you have systems, it will ask you, how should this be done every time? How should this be done every time? Not just what do I need to crank through today on my checklist, but here's what I need, and how should this be done every time so that I don't have to keep repeating it? So stop right here, and I want you to slow down, and I'm going to ask it one more time. Hustle will ask you, what do I need to do today? And I want you guys to stop asking yourself that. Instead of saying, how should this be done every time? So go to your to-do list, look at it, and create repeatable systems so that you don't have to constantly keep starting from scratch. All right? Let's walk through some good examples of what we may be doing today. And I already gave you guys the social media example is like, what should I be posting today? As opposed to weekly themes, having a content post schedule, and then being organic in between. Answering questions randomly, not setting office hours and auto reply. And I'm going to live there for a second. Office hours. What are your office hours? Letting people know these are your office hours. For some reason, we think as entrepreneurs, we should be answering all whenever. And then when we get burnt out and tired, we're like, oh my God, I got to answer this message. No, set it. If your office hours are from 9 to 4, let people know that. I don't answer business questions outside of 9 to 4. And I'm going to tell you, I'm talking to myself too. I will answer messages that are related to business all the time. And now I have a separate phone for that, a business phone, a personal business phone, or a business phone that's a cell phone. And I have a personal phone where I don't answer business questions. As a matter of fact, people who use me as a service don't even have that phone number. Stop thinking that you have to answer all the time, 24 hours, 7 days a week. That is not what a CEO does. That is not what a business owner does. But if you have systems and the systems are clear, then you will not be answering those things. And in 2026, I'm getting even more clearer on that, and you should too. Where there's guidelines, there are requirements. Good morning, Tracy. Good morning, Tracy. I'm happy to see you here. I'm just going to say Miss King because I am not going to butcher your first name. So good morning to all of you guys who are joining. But we have to get out of that. We have to have office hours and stop thinking that if you set these office hours that you are going to miss out on clients. Then that's not your client. If a client wants to text you at 10 o'clock at night, that's fine. That may be when that question came to their mind. But do you have to instantly reply? No, that's hustle season. That's hustle season. And I'm in a season of creating systems that work for me so that I can protect my creativity and protect my rest, protect my time off, because that's my time to work on me. That's the time to spend time with my family. So that is how you really get out of that hustle. Planning for emotions as opposed for planning from emotions as opposed to weekly planning rituals. Like I have a planning ritual and I'm going to encourage you guys, and I think I've talked about this before, but for you guys who are new here, here's what a planning ritual can look like. is every single Sunday, I plan out my whole entire week with time, an hourly schedule. I put in my office hours. I put in my block of time that I am going to be working on content. If content is not on your schedule, like at least 3 to 4 times a week, then you don't want new clients. You don't want cash flow in your business. It is a scheduled time that we have to intentionally show up. So I plan time for that. I plan time to be in the office. I plan time to work on one-on-one clients. If you have a funding source or a 9 to 5 job, you have to block off time for that and put your business hours in each and every day. So every week, I sit down with my hourly planner, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like the weekly overview, and I take my highlighter and I block out times. I created the space. Then I need to know what I am going to be doing in that space. So then I take my journal, I open it up, and I start brain dumping on everything that I need to do across my multiple businesses. Yes, we run multiple businesses, and I have to spend time each day in those businesses doing what I need to do. So I sit down and I dump out my full entire, like everything that I know, whether it's a to do, whether it's a task, or whatever it may be. And then I know that I now have time for it. And so I will start filling in on my hourly blocks of time what I am going to be doing or where I'm going to be. So then every single morning I get up and I look at that. And this may be a lot of redundance for some people, but then I pull out my hourly time block. I look at my messages, I look at that brain dump, and then I create my schedule for the day. I do that every single morning. I also do something like a miracle morning system where I spend time, meditating, doing affirmations, praying, getting quiet and hearing and setting the tone for the day, understanding what I need to pack for the day and get ready for the day. And so you should have a flow. So every morning I look at that weekly spread and then I block out, rewrite what I'm going to be doing today along with my to-do list. That way, when I get to the office, I know exactly what I'm going to be doing. And here's the thing that I also do, like I do that every single morning. But when I get to the office, I plan time for that particular office and I look at my to-dos for that office and say, hey, I need to work on this. I need to work on this. Here's my content that I'm going to be filming for this business. Here's what I'm going to be doing. And then if I go to my next office and start working on that, I pause in between and I ask myself, what am I doing here? What am I supposed to be creating? It's kind of like switching rooms of the house. If you're not careful and you don't have it written down, sometimes I'll go in the kitchen and I'll say, what did I come in this kitchen for? I go in the bathroom. I'm like, what did I come in here to get? You will do that in your office if you do not have a plan or you do not map it out. And some of us do it all the time. We forget. We will forget what we're doing. And that has been me sometimes. I've gone to my office and I'm like, okay, I'm here. I know I'm here from 9 to 2, but what am I doing during that time? And that is why I take that first 30 minutes to get quiet, figure out, go to that brain dump, go to that to-do list, and really plan out what I need to get done for the day or for the week at that office or in that business. And so I want to encourage you to have a weekly planning system. Systems don't remove the creativity from you. It protects it. And I notice that the more systems I have in place, the more time I get to think, the more time I get to live, the more time I get to have fun in my business and do fun things in it because I have systems in place. Okay? So I want you to ask yourself, what do you do every week or every month that can be repeated as a system or you can create checklists for? So when you're creating simple processes, I want you to think this is how you're going to map it out. This is how you are going to make it happen. One, you need to ask yourself, when does this happen? All right? When does it? So you have what you're doing. Then ask yourself, when is this happening? Is this happening every Monday? Is this happening every Wednesday? Is this happening every Tuesday? What is the frequency of that thing? What are the steps that go along with it? Where does it live at? Is it online? Is it on your computer? Is it something physical? I want you guys to think about those three things when you're creating process. When does it happen? What are the steps? Where does it live? If it's not written down, if it's not typed out, then it's not a system. It needs to be planned with order. And I'm telling you guys, there's so many things in your life that can be simplified, that you're constantly looking on Pinterest, you're constantly looking on Google, you're constantly trying to find that last video because you didn't write down the steps. Now I even have a notebook for that. I use my iPad, GoodNotes, and when I'm watching a YouTube video and I want to remember different things like using my Cricut or just things that I do on a regular, I'm not going to waste the brain space to go and rewatch something again when I can just flip to that tab in my notebook and just follow those steps once again. So when you're creating your simple processes, remember where you're storing it, remember where it is at. Set reminders and all of the things so that your system is working for you. Okay? So, as we are looking over our life, we want to understand that this hustle that we're in, and let me just be very clear, there are seasons where it feels like it is a hustle. And I'm not going to say even the word hustle. It is a little bit more work. Okay, a little bit more work. You may have a system for it. Like there's times that I sit down and I'm like, ooh, I gotta crank this out. But I have a system for that, a checklist for that. It is not just reactive and emotional and draining and inconsistent and exhausting. It is Carolyn needs to sit down to get this done. But when you are doing that every single day and it's constantly feeling like you are backing yourself in a corner, that's the hustle that I'm talking about. And we have created a culture of telling people to hustle, 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 hustle. No, systems. Not just doing stuff, a whole bunch of things and not getting results. Because when you create systems, you can track the results. It's intentional, it's structured, it's energized. And it reminds me of how people are posting these days because they want to make money from Meta. They're just posting stuff. That's what I call a hustle. It has no rhyme or reason. It is no system or flow to it. And what's going to happen is you're going to get burnout. It's not going to make any sense. And at the end, you're not going to get the results that you want, the long term. It's not sustainable. Hustle is not. So today, I need you to release the hustle and build systems that support your life. That order in your life will bring peace. And when you have peace, you can do more. You can show up authentically. You can show up not tired. You can show up excited. I get the question all the time, why you have so much energy? You're like that. And yes, I'm like that on camera, but I'm also like that in person if you've never met me in person. And it's because I protect my peace. And I protect it because I'm not staying in that hustle mode. I stop, I reflect, I pause, and I don't let the world rush me into anything. I flow according to what I was told I'm supposed to do. My inner passion, my inner purpose, now what other people try to project onto me. And we have to stop that as CEOs of our business. We're not hustlers. We're not just entrepreneurs. We are CEOs, and CEOs have structure. They have flow. They have cash flow coming into their business. They're not just trying to make ends meet. They're not just trying to make a quick dollar, but they are creating sustainability so that they can repeat it over and over and over and over and over. No more hustlers at the table. We are high level CEOs that's running corporations, that is feeding our families, that we can show up for our families, and this work is not just pulling us every which way. Take small steps towards getting out of the hustle. Take small steps towards building out systems, a week flow, a day flow, an hour flow. It should be done the same way. Stop having to think about things that you shouldn't have to think about and start planning to create systems that work for you. Systems that are going to allow you to have peace. Systems that'll give you rest. System that will allow you to enjoy what you do. I'm no longer spending my energy on hustling. I am creating more energy for myself by creating systems for what I do. Who's ready to be a CEO in this season? Who's ready to make room for overflow? Who's ready to have that order and structure that you can predict and plan and project how much money you're going to make, as opposed to going in and just trying to get any dollar you can get? All money ain't good money. And if people are draining you and making you work like they wouldn't even do that to a Walmart or a Target or McDonald's even per se, let alone a fancy high-class restaurant. A lot of people can't even go into places without an appointment. But yet, because you're a small business, yet because you are a single person business, people come in and just think that they can just get your service whenever they want it. Oh, I know she's up. I know she's working. So let me go ahead and send this. And if she doesn't reply, I get in my feelings. That's not okay. I want you to treat me just like you would any other big corporations. Oh, they'll reply. They'll get back to me within 24 hours and be understanding. In this season of CEOing, I'm going to run my business like a corporation. I'm going to answer like a corporation. And I'm not going to be in this, I'm going to get every dollar I can as a hustle. Stop letting people make you think that they are doing something for you. No, I'm providing you a service that you're paying for. I'm providing you a service that you're paying for. And that's why I'm going to provide you with exceptional services. Not, I should be happy that you're paying me, and therefore I should do things that are not within my company policy or do things outside of my systems. And I know we've heard it time and time again. Oh, well, I'm buying this from her business, and you're also getting a product. So stop allowing people to drain us because we need a dollar real quick, just because we are in a hustle season. And then when things are popping and flowing, we're drained and tired because we allow people to do that to us. And this is real talk. My office hours are, your office hours are, the services I provide are, I will deliver then, I will reply by. So these are the things that we really have to get into and set those boundaries in 2026, because we are ready for overflow. Overflow. More than enough. Businesses that will help elevate us and not people that'll break us down. And it all starts with you. When are you going to really take the time? Yes, you may have made your vision board. Yes, you may have declared what you wanted in 2026. But does the systems you have in place, is it laid out? Does it allow you to move towards that vision board that you created, towards that declaration that you made? Stop looking and hoping and wishing when you can sit down and plan and create so that you can have everything that you want in life. Anything that you want just requires consistency, excitement, and not just doing it just because everybody else wants you to do it or doing it. I'm telling you, your 2026 is going to be different. It's going to be different because you're going to move different. You're going to plan different. You're going to show up different. You're going to have things in place that you've never done. You're going to have a strong foundation. So when the wind comes and the economy gets bad and things start happening, you're going to still stand strong like that brick house. You're not going to be a house made of sticks, a house made of straws. But you're going to be a strong brick house because you have those systems and flow in place. And you didn't build with a hustle in mind. Let me just get this done. Let me hurry up and just make this real quick. But you build with intention, with purpose, and with a strong structure. So when the wind blows, because the big bad wolf shall come, hard times shall come, people will come, the enemy will come and do its job, kill, steal, destroy. But when your house is made of bricks, it stands strong. It lasts in the times. Does it mean that the wind didn't blow? Oh, it's going to blow. Did it mean that you didn't get shaken up a little bit? But it's less of a shakeup, less of a rebuild, less of having to find out how you're going to make things happen. It's less of that and more of what you envisioned in your business. I can tell you guys this, I love what I do. But does that mean that I don't get drained and I don't get tired sometimes? Of course I do. But what I find is that happened less and less and less when I started to put systems in place, when I started to put structure there. And I want that for you as an entrepreneur, a CEO of your business. I want that for you. But it's only going to start if you plan it and make it happen. So let's get into our affirmation that we say every single Sunday. And I want you guys to really take your time and say this with me today. I am the architect. See, I was talking about them building them straw houses and them stick houses. I am the architect of my time. With every hour, I build my dream. My plans have purpose. My schedule has power. I craft my life. One aligned decision, one bold move, one brilliant hour at a time. Who's the architect of their time? Who's building their dreams in that hourly planner? And I'm going to tell you, if you don't have an hourly planner, DM me. I will send you the link. There are sales on hourly planners. The best one, the weekly one and the daily one. Because if you're not mapping your day out hour by hour, you're not building your dreams. You're allowing time to dictate what you're going to do. Having a daily schedule, having business hours, your schedule has power. It doesn't matter if your shop is just open Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Those are your hours. And when people reach out on a Monday, they get an auto reply. Hey, you can leave your message, but just know that I won't get back to you until Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's why we need places for people to shop all the time, order all the time. I know some of the greatest restaurants that are just open Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And if you try to reach them on Tuesday, you're going to get a voicemail. So don't think that you have to be in there every day, but set your hours so that people know when you're there so that they can contact you and show up. Make sure that you are living by the affirmation and not allowing your day to control what goes on. This is your Plansational Sunday. I want to see those hourly planners. I want to see those systems getting put into place. I want to see you guys exiting out the hustle. As a matter of fact, in the comments, say no more hustle. No more hustle. I'm building systems. All right, thank you guys so much. I enjoyed spending my time with you this morning, and have a Plansational Sunday, and I'll see you guys in this upcoming week.